What's going on, guys? You can tell I'm with Casey again. He was in my last video. We did a little tour of the Genius garage, and so if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. It's really cool. They're doing some really cool stuff, and they're helping students. So I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree, and really the only program that I ever did that I applied a lot of the stuff I learned in the classroom in the real hands, real world experience was my Baja project. And Casey is working with not only engineers, but all sorts of different, fields.
Yeah, designers, art, business, communications.
And he engages all of them to, collaboratively work to come up with a race team, an aero team,
Yeah, we build airplanes.
Yeah, so cool. Highly recommend you go check that out. I'll link it somewhere here. But today, it's about cars, and we are in something very cool. This was, when I was a kid, poster cars were Lamborghini, Gallardo, whatever. This was a poster car. The 97 Viper
blue
was with the blue, exactly, the blue with the white stripes. That was the car where you're like, man, what is this? Who makes this? And then you're like, Dodge. Thing is, Dodge makes this, but there's a lot of different. It's more complicated than that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Lamborghini might have a hand in this.
Yeah.
So it's I'll quit. I'll shut up now. Let's go out, drive the car. This won't be like a full review. I'm not gonna tell you what I don't like in a 97 Dodge because
and this thing's
who
cool
cares?
too because it's not a trailer queen.
Exactly.
Daily driver.
This is his daily driver. It has 81,785 miles on it.
I can't drive it in winter, and it did get wrecked back when, so it was like out of commission for a few years. So it would be more, and it will be more, but yeah, every day.
So let's get driving. All right, so this is my very first time driving this car. Yeah, there's the way you were talking about.
Yeah, the drive shaft's a little worn out because I've daily driven this and I daily drive it like my style.
So we are gonna.
We're Austin Powers thing it.
This thing's fun.
If you can Austin Powers a Viper, you can. I don't actually know what you can do.
I'm gonna treat this thing like I'm test driving. I'm not gonna take it out here and smash it around. We're just gonna enjoy it.
Actually, with Genius Garage, we didn't do it this year, but in the years prior, when we go racing at like Indianapolis or Mid-Ohio or something, we take the tow vehicle, and I drive the big truck and trailer and all, and the students, I'm gonna need something to drive when I'm there. So one of the students that I trust the most and exemplifies himself on the team, usually like the crew chief, I'll let them drive the Viper to the track when we go racing and stuff.
Dude, that's awesome.
So, I mean, that's what it's all about. If you love cars and you've been successful enough from working or whatever you've done in life to know people, know how to build something, have something cool, then if you want the future, if you want these things to exist in the future, you want young people to care, you got to share it with them. And if all I did was just like, show my car and sit there with a lawn chart like ice grill people that are standing too close to it, then nobody's going to care. But, if you throw the keys to somebody that's cool once in a while, like you, then, maybe people will like cool cars like this.
This car is insane. I apologize if I'm screaming because it is loud in here. I mean, it's respectfully loud.
Yeah.
I love it. I love how loud it is in here. It is loud in here, so I don't know how the audio is going to sound. So before all of you say I need to get a mic, look, I have one. We've taken care of this.
Right?
So, but why a Viper? What made you want to daily a Viper?
It's bad.
It is bad. It's
but
I mean, so let's talk. We talked a little bit, off camera. You had a Lamborghini Countach.
I did.
How was that? How was the
before
experience?
the prices went crazy. I should have kept it and not done Genius Garage, and I could buy a house. But I didn't.
Not help kids, right? Just live out the Lamborghini.
Someday maybe help make money. The Countach was an amazing car. I grew up with it. For me, it was that European handcrafted Le Mans race car for the street. So I just totally adored it for the handcrafted nature of everything about it. And it was cantankerous. I put a ton of work into it, but I loved it for the art of it, you know? And the Viper's much the same way. It's just like way more awesome, no BS, American, get the job done. It doesn't break. I can drive it. If it rains, I don't care that much. It's not going to get car door dings. You know, people don't hate on you for driving a Viper like they would if you drive like a Ferrari or a Lambo or something. So I just love it, man. And, you know, I enjoy racing. And for me, this is me. This car is just like my personality embodied. So I just really feel like me. I get to listen to whatever music I want. And the other thing that's neat about it is you don't actually have to drive it fast to have fun.
No.
I can just roll around, chill, and still enjoy it.
So just from, you know, I've taken it out a couple miles now. I will say, suspension stiff. Like, yeah,
Well,
you feel, respectfully so, you can feel every bump. But who cares? It's a Viper.
It's not stock
You're
anymore,
not.
though.
Yeah. We'll have to get into some of the stuff that you did on here. But this is the thing. Who cares? It's a Viper. It's
Right.
meant to just enjoy. It's not your let me put 5 miles in it, you know, a month and let it sit in the garage vehicle.
It's not a poser car.
No, not at all.
You know, you can watch YouTube videos of posers and Vipers all the time wrecking them. I think Bob Lutz like designed this car to be that way. He's like, if you're a poser, it will bite you. So I don't know. I think it's cool for that too. It's just rugged and raw.
Something okay, so I was about to say it, but something I enjoy is just how raw this car is. I love that feeling. You know, you changed out to have aux and audio, but
Right.
I love listening to this motor. It sounds so good.
There's no cruise control.
You don't need
There's
it.
not even like adjusters for the mirrors. You got to reach outside and adjust it like it's the 60s. But you know, actually, I should say something. Like, obviously, the car's badass. It's cool, everything like that. But you know, why do I love this car so much? Because you know, I'm 37 years old, and when I was a kid, I had a little go-kart, 5 horsepower Briggs and Stratton, right?
Yeah.
This is the one thing that exists that I can go back to being that kid on a go-kart every day.
This thing's amazing. I mean,
know?
I have driven a wide range of cars, but I don't know why, I never like stepped into Dodge vehicles.
Well, I mean, Dodge. I mean, it's not exactly like,
It's not a true
wow.
I mean, the thing is, they're new Hellcats and their stuff that they're
They're
doing.
cool.
They're cool, but like when they ended the Viper ACR, I was just like, why?
Well, I mean, sure, it was made by Dodge or Chrysler, but let's face it, it was a tube frame car with a composite kind of body with an all-aluminum V10 tuned by Lamborghini. Bob Lutz said, screw you guys, I'm building a new Cobra Daytona Coupe, or I'm building a new Cobra. That's what it was, you know?
And this is like we're going back, you have the paint sample that is arguably the most desired. Like this, this blue, I don't remember the proper paint spec on the blue.
I don't remember either.
But blue with white stripes. It sounds good. It looks good. When you see that color, you already know what it is. Like there's no having to. Okay, what is that? What just drove by me?
I know.
No, a Viper drove by.
You know,
it's that easy.
The thing about the Viper for me, and okay, I'll probably get some haters over this or something, but look, it doesn't break. Everybody loves the car. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, a guy that's out here like tilling the soil, or if it's a doctor, or if it's a 13-year-old kid. I mean, you can go to Bob Evans and buy one of these Vipers in there. It's an icon. It's beautiful. It's exciting. It embodies the American spirit. You know, it never broke. I always enjoyed it. I always felt myself around it. I said, man, if I ever meet a woman like as crazy as this car, I'll marry her. And I did. So I've got my car and my girl. But I just think the Viper, I mean, obviously there's more sophisticated cars. There's now faster cars. There's cars that do something better than the Viper. But you know what? There's only one Viper.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. If you haven't checked it out, Vin Wiki did a story on Casey and this exact Viper, and we're not gonna jump into, you know, the meat and potatoes of that story, but I mean, essentially, he bought this car, I want to say in your 20s.
I did. It was my late 20s.
Yeah, in your late.
It was like my entire net worth. No, I'm not a rich kid. No, my daddy didn't buy it. It was everything I had.
Hey, it's car guy. It's a car guy thing. I get it.
And also, I bought it for less than the price of a new average car. Like, there's people with Hondas that cost more than what I paid for this.
Right, and you had it, you cherished it, you drove it every day.
Loved it.
And then you crashed it. Actually, right in Columbus, Ohio, right where I'm from.
Now, I would change your verbiage. I didn't crash.
Okay, no, I take that back. I take that back. Casey did not crash it.
I never messed up.
Somebody hit his car, and didn't you say the damage on that other car was also really bad? Like
everybody was fine, but
okay,
the story was, I had the car for years. I enjoyed it. I cared for it. I maintained it. I don't even think I ever got a speeding ticket. So if everybody thinks I'm driving around Mach 2 all day, like, relax, come on, But, I had my fun. I was in Columbus, and it was kind of in the winter. I mean, it was cold out, but there was virtually no salt. There was no snow or ice. And because it was like one decent day, car guys wanted to get together. So we went out, and I was coming back home, and it was Sawmill Parkway, or Drive, or...
Yeah, Sawmill Parkway, something like that,
5 lanes, median, everything like that. I'm almost home, and everything's fine. I'm doing like 45 miles an hour. I think that's like 45 or 50. And I see a car from the other side. It's already coming out, just like flying across the road. And, what kind of lunatic would drive across 5 lanes of traffic right in front of you? And so I figured, okay, this person's just being bold. They're going to want to, like, go southbound with me, and they're just speeding up to merge. So I get over to the next lane, because I'm thinking, just give them a lane.
Right.
And then I realized at that moment, as I'm getting the next lane, I'm like, oh, crap, they're not stopping, and there's no way. I'm on the brakes, and there's no ABS in this. There's no traction control. They locked up. I mean, it was probably like 35 degrees out. I mean, the tires aren't going to grab. They're summer tires.
Oh, yeah.
But it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I mean, this person just like lays out in front of me. So I, pummeled the car. Everybody's fine. And insurance took it because honestly, I wasn't in the position. I had too much going on to like rebuild it myself, and I didn't know who I wanted to rebuild it. And the funny thing is, after it was over, and I was all distraught, man. Like, I've never been in a wreck like that. I've never had somebody do that. It's surprising, I've always kept a good driving record. But anyway, so I ended up buying this C6 Corvette. And it was really comfortable. It was nice. But it was funny because there was a day where I got on this on-ramp that I always loved in the Viper. I'd be like, whoop, whoop, first, second gear. And it sounded cool. And it was exciting. I love my Viper. And I did it in the Corvette. And that was the moment I realized I was in a rebound relationship. And this is not the future for me with this Corvette. It just wasn't the Viper. It wasn't cool. It wasn't raw. It wasn't me. It wasn't the right relationship. So I sold the Corvette. And that was about the time a guy bought this car that was wrecked. He had been fixing it up. And he did an okay job, but it still needed a lot. And I bought it back from him. And I spent like the next day, somebody just pulled out in front of us there. I mean, But, I spent the next 6 months fixing it up. I had to do a bunch of stuff to the engine. I don't know what he did. He probably, like, repped it bad or something. But, and just a bunch of other things. But that was my therapy, rebuilding the car that embodies my personality and making it the way. And now I get to share it with you. We just get to go drive
this
around.
This car is a pure joy to drive. I can't even stress enough how much fun. Like I said, I mean, I'm at 2,400 RPMs, 3,000 RPMs now. It sounds so good, and I'm not really...
Here, roll into the throttle. We're in third gear.
Oh my God. That sounds and drives so nicely.
Well, I can't... Here's the thing. You don't actually have to drive like an idiot to enjoy a car with power. And there's a lot of things about a car with power that's good for safety. Like if you're just driving in traffic, there's times when somebody's doing something dumb or they're putting themselves in positions that's not strategically smart. You can just be like,
right. I've always been a firm believer, like, you should have a car with more power simply because it can actually you can get yourself out of certain situations.
Correct.
If you're in some 80 horsepower, like, I don't know, for a better, I don't know, like a car, but like, you're out here and your car,
a Geo Metro.
Yeah, something like that. It's just you're asking to get hurt,
Yeah.
And something like this, you at least can control. If there's an open lane or something, you can get yourself out of it. It's a lot. Personally, it kind of pays off to have something a little faster, just for the fact. Yeah, sometimes you can also hurt yourself, but
well, yeah, you've always got to be in control of your own emotions. Make good decisions. Don't get baited into stupid things. Don't do things around people or crowded stuff. Right. It's just being, reasonable. But look at this. We're on a 2-lane township country road. This is as like American as it gets, right? We just get to have fun. There's nothing around. There's like a field and like some foliage.
This is a dream. Like I was telling you, like I had growing up, very few cars that made my poster. Lamborghini Gallardo. That is every 10-year-old had
yeah.
a Lamborghini Gallardo on his
It was
poster.
the Countach and the F40 for my
Yeah,
age.
yep. But like honestly, I've always liked this car.
Yeah.
I've never been in it, so I never really
Would
knew.
you daily drive it? What do you think?
If I had the means to having one of these, of course I daily drive
You
it.
just have to get one. It's not hard to maintain it.
No, they're
You just
not.
change oil.
They're not. You're not going to be out here spending, you know, $200,000-$300,000 on this. Like
No.
can get. That's what people don't realize. You are getting the supercar look, supercar feel.
Yeah.
This thing, a true supercar, is one that I believe should scare you.
Yeah, well, yeah, it should, and it can. But here's the thing that's cool. I used to work on Ferraris. Actually, my senior year of college, my job was being a Ferrari mechanic, and I got to know them intimately. If you just want to change timing belts in a Testarossa, you have to split the car in half like an Indy car. I'm sorry, but that's stupid design.
It's not worth it.
You know, this car is awesome. It's fast. It's got timing change. You're not gonna fix that. You just change oil. Heck, I would go to like a Mobil 1 oil change place now and then if I don't have time. And the guys, you bring a Viper and they love you. They're proud of you bringing it in and do it. So they do a good job. Just change oils. Change the brake fluid once in a while. You replace tires, replace brakes. So it's a normal car in that regard. I mean, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna rattle a little.
It's loud, but it has every right to be loud. You can think it's obnoxious. I think it just sounds amazing. People see this. You can't hate on a Viper. Like you see it and it's just wow.
Anybody that hates on it is just mad because they haven't figured out how to get one yet.
Exactly.
So my advice to them is don't get mad. Just be cool and be like, hey man, I would like to get a Viper one day too. Do you have any advice? Simple as that. But it's a very attainable car. This is probably the most attainable exotic car there is.
And it's exotic in every category.
Yeah. And you can drive this car to like a local Midwestern, cruising with all the muscle car guys, and they'll be cool.
Oh, yeah.
You can drive it to an exotic cars and coffee and park it with Lamborghinis and McLarens, they'll be cool. The thing that's great about these Vipers is they're sort of kind of they're respected across the board. And usually if people have something bad to say, it's just myth. They don't know what they're talking about.
Anyone that says anything bad about this, 99.99% chance, sure, they've never driven it.
Oh yeah.
So it's easy to hate when you've never experienced, you're not, like I said, don't buy this car if this is not your $200,000, Lamborghini or your Ferrari that you're going to.
You gotta be a real car guy if you buy this.
Exactly.
You gotta respect the car, you gotta respect other people, and you gotta know how to drive. There's no flappy paddles in here. There's no ABS. There's no traction control. So you gotta respect the beast.
It is a very fun car to drive.
It's a snake. It'll bite you.
I can't say enough. So okay, this isn't really a review. I mean, we're reviewing it. I'm giving you my thoughts on it, but this isn't a review. This is more of my chance to talk with Casey as well as discuss a very, very cool car that you just don't see very often.
Yeah.
I don't see him. I hardly ever see him, And back in my, everyone I knew that had one, they've traded it in for like an Aventador or like something like that. Rich,
Yeah.
it's cool, but this is so raw.
You know what I thought? Like, I've had this car long enough that it went from being cool when I first got it, like it's pretty new, to like, it's an old Viper, whatever. So now it's like become cool again because it's so old. It's sort of like what am I, like a Viper hipster or something? But I thought to myself, and who knows? By the time I have kids that are old enough, maybe they'll ban cars or something. I don't know. But I thought to myself, I'm like, it'd be cool if I ever had a kid who thought it was cool enough. But like, I tell you what, you restore it, it's yours. Live it on. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And those are kind of the things to need to think about because this is our heritage. This is our culture, and
this car is just. I don't have enough good things to say about it, and I mean. Obviously,
you like that hood, that bulging blue hood?
It is so cool. It is so cool.
That's what I fell in love with the first time I drove it on the track, is just seeing that bulging hood and blue mirrors.
The big wing on the back. I mean, every part of it screams exotic. It screams.
The thing about the wing, I joke. People are like, that wing's dumb. It doesn't do anything. I'm like, yeah, but it's Tennessee. It's cool. Whatever. So it's like, I just joke because people made fun of me in the VidWiki because I had my collar popped. But I just do that because when you work outside for a long time, your neck gets burned. I'm like, whatever. And I think it's funny. So if people make fun of the wing, I'll be like, whatever. My car's got its collar popped too. So now everybody hates me.
right, so we just got done, well, I just got done driving your 97 Viper. And
my daily driver.
Yeah,
My own
guys,
bucket.
81,801 miles.
Would have been
name another Viper that's daily driven that looks this good that has 80,000 miles. I want to know. I'll wait.
Now, you just got all the trolls to, like, find every example, and they're going to be pinpointing that, like, my hood gaps aren't perfect now.
You bought the car, you drove it. I apologize. You didn't wreck it. Somebody hit you.
It got in a wreck that I could not avoid.
It got in a wreck. Not your fault.
No.
Yeah, not your fault.
I think my neck's actually a little tweaked from that.
Oh, no. But then you bought it back. You finished fixing it up, and now you drive it every single day. That is like car guy defined in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Like I can't. That's it. So, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed, Casey on the channel, let me know. I'll link his Instagram somewhere. So, give him a follow. He does a lot with Genius Garage as well. So
that's all I do.
So he's got a lot of ways to help you if you're an aspiring engineering student or you're in college, you're in.
There's even a 13-year-old prodigy at drawing cars. I invited him and his dad to come in, and they come in, and I help him with his design.
Yeah.
I even helped him with his science project.
Yeah, there you go. So, guys, this is a place, and they're growing. They're growing year after year.
Real fast.
They're ditching. They're building their own right now, and they've only been operational 5 years, and it seems like
this is the end of the 5th year.
Yep, and now you're going from this building
in the next 3 years. No joke. First of all, we're going to move a bigger thing. There's a lot going on I can't talk about, but I intend to have 1 or 2 Formula 1 cars because I want to do a Formula 1 program, the only one in the world for international students. Just find those bright people that never get a shot. And I want to get an L-39, the Czechoslovakian fighter jet. So we have like the whole palette for aerospace. And I want to be the only place where students can come, do design, but we actually build a real prototype car.
It's awesome. And you know what? That's a aggressive plan, and it seems like you've hit everything that you've talked about with me, in your timeline. And on top of it, you've included these kids that just need hands-on experience. That's what they're good at. That's what they do.
Nobody gives young people a chance.
No, they don't.
Not many people. Maybe it's hard for you to find somebody to let drive your car, right?
A bunch of you asked me. I am 22 years old. It is very intimidating to just randomly ask somebody, "Hey, you mind if we do a YouTube review?" 9 times out of 10, the response is off. Every now and then, you'll come across someone, like this, that is just passionate about his cars, about what he's doing. So
I just never got these chances when I was a kid, and I wanted to change that for people. So that's why I've invested my entire life in the Building Genius Garage, so I can give young people with a spark a shot, regardless of what their last name is or where they come from.
So, guys, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, turn that notification bell on. Make sure you give Casey a follow. And
Instagram, Casey Push.
Yeah, drop a comment below on what you think of the Viper and what was your, favorite car of this era. I want to know. I'm curious.
90s.
Yeah, the 90s. And don't tell me the Camaro. But thanks for watching, Casey.
Cheers.
It was a pleasure, and I will see you guys next video.